Us to look into why Agwambo wants to convene a PG meeting, and with no further ado, let's get after it. Now, the first reason why Raila wants to convene a PG meeting, despite handing over the party leadership to Anyang' Nyong'o, is that after President Ruto visited former CIC Uhuru Kenyatta in Gatundu, Moses Kuria immediately released a lengthy statement, part of which suggested the actualization of BBI should be made a priority. And so when I see Raila convening a PG meeting when the MPs are on recess, it makes me believe we could be seeing the return of BBI. And Raila has perfectly good reason to support the return of BBI, be it through NADCO report or otherwise. Because remember, part of the package is the office of the leader of opposition, which comes with staff, an office, chase cars, and the opportunity to address parliament or to even be a part of the sessions. You know, they usually say aim for the stars. If you miss, you might fall on the moon. That is what Raila Odinga is trying to do here. He wants to aim for AU, but in the event he misses, he wants to come back and fall on the position of opposition leader. In other words, a cozy, rosy job till the very end of his days, either through the AUC or through Office of Opposition right here in Kenya. So Raila is playing chess. He's putting himself in a win-win situation. I don't blame him personally, but everybody can read through what he's trying to do with this PG meeting. Now, the second reason behind Raila convening a PG meeting is because he has already seen telltale signs that he will lose at AU. Already he has even threatened to drop out of the race just the other day. And if there's one thing we know about Raila Odinga is that he always pulls out of the race when he sees he's going to be defeated. In the repeat election in 2017, he came out with Kalonzo Musyoka holding a pay bill number. And immediately after that, they boycotted the elections. So where did all those donations go? They went home with it. Unlike countries like America, where what you collect for purposes of campaign you have to report, in this country you use it at your discretion. You can raise $1 billion and decide not to campaign, you go home with the entire $1 billion. So long story short, Raila Odinga pulled out of the 2017 race. He has threatened to pull out of the 2025 AUC race, and it could all be because he has sensed defeat. When you look at polls such as these, they corroborate the story, and I quote, "In this opinion poll, which was done by Amani Africa, Raila Odinga is slated at 3%. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf gets 86%, and Richard Randriamandrato gets 4%, and there's an undecided 7%. Now, why would Raila Odinga be given the 3% likelihood of becoming the AUC candidate? This 3% is not to say that he'll only get 3% of the vote. No. In the AUC, there's usually the first round voting, second round voting, and even a third if need be. So you might trail the leader in the first one, but the leaders will keep voting and revoting, lobbying and re-lobbying. In that same room, they will come out only when there is a winner. And it's usually easier for the one who's ahead to capture a bit more support to lock out the other two candidates. And Mahmoud is the likely candidate to lock in all those votes by the time they are leaving that room. It's not about how many votes you walk in with. It's about how many you can walk out with. A lot of lobbying happens in AUC elections. So Raila is pulling in last. Reason being, doesn't speak French. None of the Francophone countries can relate. He's not a Muslim. The Islamic states relate more with Mahmoud and Richard Randriamandrato. So when you do 2 and 2, that could be part of the reason why he's doing a PG meeting right now. He's probably contemplating pulling out and he's letting his boys know. Third reason for Raila convening a PG meeting is that he's very likely going to vie for office in 2027 for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is to be bought by President Ruto with a major payday. And number 2 is through the political parties fund, where ODM gets a staggering 928 million Kenya shillings annually. Can you believe that? $250 million every single year. These are some of the things which need to be repealed in our constitution. Because this political parties fund is what brings the big boys together. That is why Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, and President Ruto, however much they pretend to be on different sides of the divide, they all work together. Jubilee is getting 150-something million every year for them to do with as they please. If they decide to give the party leader 120 million of that, that's up to them. ODM is getting more than $250 million a year. UDA is getting $500 million Kenya shillings per year from the registrar of political parties, minus of course 5%, which is considered to be administrative fees. So by Raila vying in 2027 or threatening to vie, he'll either be bought off in a major payday by the president, or he'll go on to vie, probably lose, but still by being on the ballot, ODM will have that oomph a little bit to hold on one last time by having enough members of parliament, just so that they can secure a large kitty from the political party's fund. Raila is very tactical in all that he does. Even if he loses, he somehow always wins. I would even dare say if he dares drop out of the AUC race, it's because someone gave him something worth dropping out of the race for. But at the end of the day, guys, that's just my opinion. Do let me know your own comments in the comment section below.